Another week recording remotely, another week bitching about coronavirus, another night sitting alone, wondering how virtual meetings can make these guys even fucking uglier. But even with all this separation, we did have a needless to say first, our first ever litigation. That's right, folks. A certain freckle-titted nobody decided to get her name out there in a last resort grab for attention by having her last remaining lawyer shoot over a cease and desist letter. Her litigious lube-covered labia have never been more useless, but she wants to grab at a few up-and-coming branches on the final steps of her snowballing fall from grace. Well, you know what, slunt? You're not taking us out. You're not making a point, and you're not getting any sad remnants of relevance on our dime. Anyone paying attention to the last few episodes knows who we're talking about, which is good, because nobody else does. But enough of that sweaty bag of beef flaps. Maestro, we don't need any mean girls. It's another Freaky Friday. So let's get fully loaded, starting with you hitting our goddamn music.
Oh, here we go. All right, I'm not getting late tonight. Let's buckle up.
Good.
But like I said, it was...
But one of the things that I think is going to end my marriage before anything else is when we watch TV
Diabetes?
together. Well, that too. We've been looking for the clitoris for about 800 calendar years.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Needless to Say. I am Dave. I'm here with Brad and Craig, two guys who make me want to not wear a mask out in public.
Do you know what the worst part of your life is going to be, Dave? Is that 2-3 years down the line, your wife is still going to insist on you putting on a mask every time you go to bed with her.
I'm 40 years old. I'm already sleeping in a separate bed in a bedroom. Yeah, we only have a king-size bed because we have two twins.
Yeah.
I seriously wanted to do that with Melissa, get that, like, the frame that puts it all together, and that way I could get the bed that I wanted. I conceded everything, so I wake up every morning like a right angle, but as long as she's comfortable.
There you go. Yep, that's it.
There was one night, like, she, like, Rand likes to fall asleep kind of, like, closer to me, just the way she sleeps, but
Gross.
I'm like, can you at least, like, get on, like, your half? Like, I don't care if you sleep on the border, but at least go to... She's like, what are you talking about? And I said, don't move. I got up, walked around the bed, and I was able to lie down behind her comfortably.
Yeah.
So, you know, there was a time when I used to think, like, wonder why my grandparents had the two separate beds in their bedroom. Like, why aren't you married? What the heck? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Until recently, it didn't make sense to me.
Yep.
Because now I'm like, baby, I love you. I'll do anything for you. I'm going to go sleep over there.
Yeah.
Just, I'll see you in the morning.
Yeah. It's like, it's so funny because Fran does that too. Like, I'm like, Fran, you have all the blankets. No, I don't. Is the quilt and everything touching the floor on your side of the bed? Yes, it is. Okay. Then you have all the fucking blankets. Like, the whole left side of my body is just bare. Like, just exposed to the elements.
And, you need to just put a sleeping bag on your side of the bed so she can't take it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, what the fuck, man?
I think Melissa just dreams about, playing kickball. That's all she does all night long.
Really?
Either that or it's like, fantasies of being a Rockette or something. I get my fucking ass kicked every night, especially if we go to bed at the same time. I almost never go to bed at the same time as her.
Yeah,
I'm a night owl. But on the off chance that I'm just tired, I'll get into bed with her, and within seconds of her falling asleep, she must be having that falling off a cliff dream, and she wakes up just before, and she just takes it out on my shins constantly. I'm just sitting there trying to read a magazine. So
is she dreaming and kicking, or does she have like restless legs or something?
I could be a little both. Actually, she does have restless leg syndrome, which has changed nothing in her life whatsoever. It's not a real condition.
And dude, listen, as both, like I've had that before. It's no fun. Like there was, laying down, it felt like I had to move my legs. It was this weird feel. It was like this muscle sensation. It was weird. I can't explain it.
With all that
I know.
activity, why are you so fat?
You know what's funny, Dave? I know what you're talking about. When I was younger, I used to have that. It was weird. You would start to get not anxiety. You would get. Did you get that like going down the roller coaster feeling?
It would slowly build. Like I would build and build till I had to move my legs to get. It was almost like built up energy that had no place else to go.
Yeah, I used to get that feeling. Like that feeling in your stomach when you go down a roller coaster. That weird feeling. That would happen to me, and I'd like if I didn't, and I would have to move. Like it was weird.
But it was just my legs though. That would happen. It was I don't know. It was strange.
I do this weird thing where I stiffen them up, like I like lock myself in, and then I make snow angels in the bed, and that's the only way I can get warmed up. You should see me in a hotel. It's not a Brad hotel room until I actually jump in and make snow angels on the fucking bed. It's really pretty sad if you think about it.
I don't want to warm up in bed. I want to be cold, and I want to like bundle myself into sleep.
Best thing I ever did was ask for a weighted blanket this Christmas.
Oh.
And I got it. Oh my God.
Is it Fran
incredible.
told you it was weighted blanket and she just like laying on top of you trying to smother you for months?
Yeah. Yep. No, let me tell you something. It's fucking unbelievable.
Really?
Oh my God. Fucking the first time I put it, I fell asleep and slept like a fucking baby.
But is it do you get hot?
Yeah, well now it's not. Now I can't.
That's
it's
the
too
thing.
much
Like,
right now.
We need to be cold to sleep. Like if I get warm, I'm up and I'm uncomfortable.
Oh, my upstairs the heat upstairs in my house is set way lower than downstairs because
we
can't
just open our
sleep
windows.
Like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll open a window in the winter.
Oh,
no
yeah.
problem.
Yep.
I pulled it up to my neck. I have serious mommy issues. And it's pathetic. I think I want to be like half in the womb. I sleep in the fetal position. I pull my knees as far up as my fat gut will let me.
Yeah. No, it's fucking weird. Like I don't get that feeling anymore. Like the leg thing, like we were talking about. Like that doesn't happen to me anymore. When I was younger, it did. It was crazy. Yeah. But the weighted blanket was fucking unbelievable. But yeah, now I can't really use it because it's hot.
Yeah.
You know, this time of year, now it's starting to warm up a little bit.
Do you have
you
put air conditioners in?
Stop. Do you realize how fucking boring we are? This fucking coronavirus is killing us. We just spent 8 minutes on restless leg syndrome and fucking weighted blankets.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
I was gonna circle back to it and think she probably doesn't have restless legs. She's probably just kicking you and blaming it on something else.
Oh, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I had a bad dream. Sense. Fuck you, you asshole.
Yeah.
Dick.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah. I brought the groceries in wrong. Right?
Yeah.
See, that would never happen. I don't help her with the groceries. It's so fucking frustrating, though. But yeah, so coronavirus.
Yeah.
Enough with that. We'll get to that in a minute. Craig, how was your week, brother?
Not bad. It was busy.
No, it wasn't.
I did fucking nuts. I am so unproductive and unmotivated. It's actually fucking disgusting. I don't know. It's not depression by any means. You know what I mean? But it's just I have zero motivation to do anything.
There's nothing to do.
It's like every morning is Sunday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the problem. Yeah. And then things are happening like the night before last. I'm like, all right, I'm just sitting here, and I got all fucked up. You know what I mean? I just drank a bunch of beers and got fucking wrecked because I was bored and watching TV. I'm like, I'm gonna have a beer, and I'm like, well, I don't have to go anywhere in the morning. I'm gonna have all of the beer. Yeah, so, and that was it. But,
I did that last night. Good God, Magnum.
Yeah. But I mean, other than that, like, I mean, I went shopping yesterday, and but have been having the issue with toilet paper, not being able to get any. It was really fucking driving me. Now it was starting to get aggravating because at first I was like, it'll be on the shelf. I didn't run out and hoard it because I had some, you know, at the time. Right. And I was like, I'm going to let people that don't have it, who need it, get it. Now I am that person.
You're the guy that needs it.
Yeah. And Dave saved my ass yesterday, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I went by to get my GoPro from Dave's house because I was like, I want to grab it and mess around with it and try out some shit. And
I sent home your vape too because I don't want that Corona delivery device sitting in my house anymore.
right. I had left that there, so Dave gave that to me. But Dave handed me a 4-pack of toilet paper out the door, which was fucking. I was psyched. I was really psyched. Like legitimately over toilet paper. You know? And
This
then
is the new normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was so stupid. And it was like, and then the other thing was, and then then Dave called me today and said, hey, I'm at the store. There's toilet paper in front of me. I can buy it. You want me to get you some? So he did, and I'm going to go pick that up. So, like I said, real hero, not all heroes wear capes. Some wear flannel.
Dave usually wears a cape with the remaining toilet paper coming out the back of his pants.
That's right. That's right.
Oh yeah, it was my 19th anniversary this week too. Yeah.
That came after his toilet paper fiasco.
I think this is the 1 week she won't blame him.
Yeah.
I don't think she'll get on him for that this week.
No, it was
Pretty
funny. I
fucking
got up in
crazy.
the morning. She was at work. She was in her office. She was working, and I woke up because every night I'm up until fucking 2 a.m. now. You know,
Why not?
Amateur.
I'm watching. Fucking, I've been up to 3 and stuff. You know what I mean? But I'm watching fucking shitty sci-fi movies until fucking God knows when.
So
how has your life
I'm watching
changed?
Animals.
Yeah, it hasn't changed. It's just gotten longer.
Yeah.
That's like, instead of the one shitty movie, I'm watching 3. You know, so, but it was so funny. So I got up in the morning, and I walked into her office. I'm like, "Hey, good morning." She's like, "Hey," and she's like, "Happy anniversary." I'm like,
Did you have that
shit."
panic sweat?
No, because I was like, you know what? It's not my fault. I didn't even know what fucking day it was. I was like, I didn't know. I was like, I thought today was the 4th. It was the 7th. You know, I had no idea what was going on. And she laughed it off. There was nothing, we could do.
What else can you do?
Yeah.
I mean,
But that's the
I
thing,
can't imagine standard arguments happening these days.
No, it's stupid. Yeah, exactly.
No, there's no. It's funny you said that, Brad, because it's no standard arguments. And I don't want to take away from Craig's anniversary story because I want to circle back to that and how much of an asshole he is to his wife. But it's funny. Just tonight, Ryan and I were talking about like little annoyances between couples. Like people are together now a lot more than they have been.
Yeah.
And little things that like little pet peeves that people like, oh, I wish they wouldn't do that. But a second later, they're over it.
Yeah.
Are probably things that are really annoying people now and getting under their skin. So I looked right at her. I'm like, what do I do that bothers you? That isn't like now I told her, I said, listen, I have to do the show in 2 hours, but I was like, what kind of pet peeves do I have? And she didn't even think about it. She said, your passive aggressiveness. I was like,
breathing.
Yeah.
It'd be funny if she unrolled a parchment and she's just been adding to it.
Yeah, it was like that episode of Cheers when he pulled out Norm's bar tab and it was like volume 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like 7982.
Yes. And she gave me a few examples of like things and I was like, all right, that makes sense. I said, I don't try to be passive aggressive. In my mind, it's like, this annoyed me, but not enough where I want to make it an argument with you. So I just deal with it. And I get pissed and angry. I can't hide that, but I don't want to make it an argument.
You're a fucking pro at fucking, because you use sarcasm.
Oh yeah,
to come across like that. It's that passive, and it's so fucking. It's funny though. That's the best part. Is even you might be saying it to me, and I'll laugh because you know what I mean. Because it's just the way you do it.
He's like, ha, that's funny, and he means it.
Yeah, and he means it. Yeah, but you're so good at it. That's the thing.
Hey, stick
I
with
do
what
this
you
thing
know.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that was it. And so she looked at me and she's like, well, what do I do? And I was like, oh, here we go. All right, I'm not getting late tonight. Let's buckle up.
Yeah. Good.
But like I said, it was.
It's funny. I heard it before you said it.
Yeah.
I heard him saying it as soon as that got out of Dave's mouth.
And I told her, I said, little things that they don't bother me, but I said things like the fucking ice cubes. I don't use ice cubes for anything, ever. I refill the ice cube tray every single day. I use zero, but I'm just like, why can't? What? Why? Why? Just refill the ice cube trays.
Yeah.
But once I refill it, I'm over it and I move on.
Yeah. Yeah.
But and I said something like that, or like I'll open up the cupboard and the trash is piled up to the top just enough so when you pull the trash pile, it just misses the bottom of the cabinet. You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, well, I can't fit anything else. I got to take this out. It's one of those things that for me, the annoyance lasts as long as I look at it. I'm like, all right, I'm done. I'm over it.
Yeah.
But I said to her, I'm like, I can imagine a lot of other people who aren't having to deal with this all the time because I'm home all the time, right? And Brad, you know what that's like being home all the time. It's part of your day. But I can imagine a lot of people now who aren't used to being home are like, fuck you, I'm going to fucking kill you, fill the goddamn ice cube trays. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just losing their minds.
They're saying marriages aren't going to survive this.
No, I think people aren't going to survive this.
Yeah, I think there's going to be, if there were domestic issues, I'm not making light of that.
Well, no,
but if there were potential domestic issues, they're going to get way amplified over the next few weeks. And I think a lot of people who are on the fence about maybe ending their marriage are probably going to make a definitive decision in the next few weeks as well.
Yep.
Because there are people that, and you see them, I mean, everybody knows that couple or a couple of people, like, a few couples that have that, their relationship is almost of I don't want to say of convenience, but it's just like they're already together. They don't want to deal, but they constantly clash with each other.
They're the couple that if you guys go out to a bar, they're at each other's throats all night about stupid things.
Yes.
We don't know anybody like that at all.
Those are the ones that will not all of them, and hopefully not, that'll suffer. Now, me and my wife, it's great because there's not a day goes by that my wife doesn't fucking yell at me.
Well,
right?
I'm pretty sure she's yelled at me every time I've seen her.
Yeah. Right. So
not to say I didn't deserve it, but no.
Yeah. No, but
I watched her yell at a priest for handing out communion wrong.
Yeah.
Slapped his tongue.
It's just funny. I know that's her. You know what I mean? And I get mad at her too, and we'll fucking snap at each other about something stupid, and it's over just as fast as it started. And then we laugh about. Then we'll bust each other's balls about it. Like we'll be sitting down, and be like, "Oh yeah, like when you did that." You know what I mean?
Yeah. Remember that time 3 minutes ago when you did
Exactly. And it's just funny, and we're over it, and we laugh about it, and that's huge.
Is it just me, or is it starting to sound like Craig only has sex when there's leather and a paddle involved?
Nope.
And Fran's behind him.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Like this. I've been married for 19 years. I have no issue with being locked in my house with my wife.
Right.
None. Is it nice to get out once in a while? Yes.
Of course it is.
You know what I mean?
And we've talked about that too. Is much as we get along, everybody needs time to just climb inside their own head and forget about the world for whatever they need to.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be married to her for 19 years if I couldn't fucking spend a couple of weeks in the house with her.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That's just the way it is.
But what are some things she does that would get under your skin? Like, can you, if you guys didn't have that relationship, if you were that couple that were always what are some things that she does that may annoy you that otherwise wouldn't? You know what I mean?
And be honest, pretend she's not going to listen to this 100 times when you're editing.
While I'm editing it and just start yelling at me, and I have to pause. I have to stop editing for a half hour so she can yell at me.
No, what I mean is, like I said, for me, refilling the ice cube tray when I don't ever use ice cubes, it's one of those just momentary, like, why? And then I'm beyond it. But some people that are already stressed out they would just snap. Do you know what I mean? Like that's what I'm thinking of.
One of my only things really with her, she has a lot for me, I'm sure.
Right.
A lot. I know. I hear about him every day. But there's one thing that I have with her, and it's her putting shit on the stairs. You know what I mean?
Oh, do tell.
She'll come in and she puts her pocketbook on the edge of the step going up the stairs, and she puts it there, and then because she's gonna bring it up after when she goes on her way upstairs. But now it's there, and it's on the stairs, and I'm probably gonna trip over it.
But now, does she actually bring it upstairs later?
No, she does. She does.
Okay, well, that's different. If she just put it there,
But
like, hey, I'm going to bring it upstairs, but never did.
But going down to the basement, this one side of my stairs is lined with stuff.
Oh.
She does that. But if you go to her parents' house, they do that. They have stuff on one side of the steps. Going down to the basement, it's not, you know what I mean? It's there,
Yeah.
But it fucking drives me nuts. There shouldn't be anything on the stairs.
Okay.
Like somebody's gonna die over that fucking bottle of fucking Diet Sprite. I mean, I don't want to be killed by a dustpan.
Like, you don't want the coroner's report to say Sprite on the cause of death.
Yeah, cause of death. Tripped over dustpan. Tripped
It'd
over.
be great if she used that to sweep up your ashes.
Yeah.
I knew I was going to need this.
Yep. Yeah.
She just sits there, talks to herself under her breath. Irony.
But yeah, I mean, like that drives me nuts. Really, I mean,
Yep.
other than the other things, just yelling at me. That annoys me.
See, Melissa and I, we're different. We won't have those little arguments. If we have an argument, it's legit and it lasts, and sometimes it scars. We'll come back to it years later because we never really did resolve it. It got too exhausting to continue.
Yeah.
Really?
But one of the things that I think is going to end my marriage before anything else is when we watch TV
Diabetes.
together. Well, that too. She made me diabetic. I really do blame her. I do. No, nobody. I didn't make the pasta. I didn't buy the 5-pound bag of gummy bears. She did. I just happened to eat it. I have a survival instinct. I wanted to eat. But anyway, I do think it's funny though that the thing that will end our marriage is not going to be a big fight. It's when we watch TV, we're just sitting down and say we're just watching a movie, and say Christopher Walken walks in, literally, no pun intended, enters the scene, and I go. And she'll just go, "Hey, Christopher Walken's in this?" And I'll go, "No." Or like you'll see somebody's name in the credits. Well, this was directed by Fred Savage. Nope. And I will do this so passive aggressively, and I never fail. And she wants to rip my fucking head off. I could literally call her an absolute jizz bucket, and she wouldn't think twice about it. She'd be like, "Oh, Brad's doing podcast things again." La 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 la. Yeah. But the instant I start doing this, I swear to God, I'm going to get an axe to the head. I just bought a hatchet, and it's going to get used.
I do the same thing to a point where, like, Fran watches like Criminal Minds. I fucking can't take that show, right? And it's not that it's a bad show. I get it's a network television show.
And you're just above that.
No, no. But I'm saying it's not. It's episodic, but it's got the backstory to it. You know what I mean? It's weird. But
you just subscribe TV.
It's
no, but I don't know. It's an odd show, but as soon as I walk in, I just start fucking like making comments about what's going on, making up dialogue, right? And she gets fucking pissed. She's like, "Well, you fucking ruin everything." She's not, because we'll watch anything, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, she wants it, huh?" Like, you know. I just start saying wicked immature shit.
Oh, constantly.
Like she wants to bang him so bad, like all that stuff.
There's not one cast member of Glee where I haven't said, "Hey, do you know what she needs? A dick up her ass."
Yeah.
And I'll just right in the middle of the show while Melissa's watching, I will just completely interrupt with anal sex jokes.
Yeah.
See, I can't do that to Rayanne because she watches like RuPaul's Drag Race, and I would be making an accurate observation.
It's a good point there.
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, you're absolutely right, sir.
She would say, "I agree."
Yeah, but it's funny. But I do that all the time, and that drives her fucking bonkers. But
so you had a good week though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep.
Well, 20 minutes on what annoys our our wives.
Right.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, that totally went off the rails.
So I gotta tell you though, my favorite part of Craig's week was his Facebook post.
Which one? Oh, that one? Oh,
Oh.
yes.
What was it? Like he tried to like be a smartass about something that happened in the news, and you, not one person that commented on your comment.
It was
made a comment about what you said. It's how you typed it.
How I typed it. I had to go
Every
back.
single person. Most of them you're related to.
The first one was my niece.
Yes, which was excellent.
If it wasn't for her, it probably would have got skipped over. She started she got the ball rolling.
Right. But the best part
is,
was you wrote like 3 sentences, and every single person that commented, there must have been 20 comments, had a different correction for your grammar.
Oh, but the worst part was I typed it angry and hammered. So when I started seeing the comics, I went back and edited it 3 times, and then
still left it wrong.
And still left it wrong. So I gave up. That's when I gave up, and I just started typing to people. I'm like, "Yeah," like your wife was like, "Forget the lack of comments." I'm like, "Nope, I'm against them." Yeah. I'm like, I'm not even gonna try to figure out where they go now.
It's like Craig had his tablet open, was just mashing it against the shaft of his dick.
It was kind of.
I bet I can type with my nose.
Yeah. I was all buzzed out and angry. I was fucking angry. Like at that whole, I'm like, fucking motherfucker asked that question, and I just went off, and that was it. And Fran was like, "You're irrationally angry about this," like, because I was like, I almost put my fist through my fucking TV.
If you actually watch the news every day, you can find 15 more things just like that. Why this one really bothered you? He has ruined every press conference since this whole pandemic started.
Yeah.
Just when you think he's stating facts and acting rationally, then something like a Tiger King comment comes in. I blame the journalist as much as I blame the response.
That's who I was.
Oh, yeah.
I was blaming the journalist. I wasn't so much blaming Trump.
But he said he's going to look into a pardon for him. We've got bigger issues right now.
In all honesty, as much as I can't stand when that motherfucker opens his mouth, I think it was more of a tongue-in-cheek thing.
I think that was like, shut the fuck up.
Like, I'll look into it. He's like, is that the Joe Exotic guy? Yeah, I'll look into it. Like, I think he was brushing it off without being a dude. It was late in the press conference already, but I think he could have. When people ask him legitimate questions, but they go against him, he freaks out. You're a terrible reporter. You're this, you're that. Why would you ask that? That's a terrible question.
That's a nasty question. I like when he says
that's a nasty question.
You're a nasty person.
No, they're a reporter and they're
Shame
asking
on
you
you.
a legitimate question, and you're not answering it. But this guy asks you a stupid fucking question, and you play to it and move. He played to it and moved on, but at the same time,
still acknowledged it. Yeah,
he should have just said next. Like I can't believe you just asked me that. Next,
you're wasting my time.
There's an epidemic going on in this country.
Yeah, we're on to Cincinnati.
We're in a state of national emergency. There's a national crisis. And you asked me a question about the fucking Tiger King during a presidential press conference about the emergency. That guy should have been dragged in the fucking street and fucking shot.
And he probably was, but it's just ridiculous, though, that he would give that credence. All he has to say is next for any of it. Even the ones where he just thinks they're being nasty.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway, Dave, how was your week, brother?
Oh, my week was fine. Like I said, the best part of my week was Craig's fuck up on Facebook, so it was good. Honestly, like my week's been pretty much the same.
Yep.
We're potty training a 2.5-year-old, which has been fun. So, yeah, I can imagine it's no different than what my wife does when I come upstairs drunk and wasted. So
yeah, I was just gonna say,
I'm not gonna complain too much.
I was just
a
gonna
lot
say
of falling around the toilet.
Now there's just more shit in his house.
That's right. In places it should never be.
Yeah, exactly.
You ever get letters from the septic department just going, really?
Why is this thing empty?
The worst part is that
this.
Yeah. The worst part is the number of people in this house who shit their pants outnumber the people who don't.
Yeah.
So that's my week.
Yep. Brad, how was your week?
Oh, a lot of things going on, a lot of emotions. A lot of things happening here.
Bruised legs and shit.
Oh, yeah, you have no idea. It's funny that you mention it. This should have been a WrestleMania for the ages. I should be doing a whole WrestleMania recap.
Yep.
And I couldn't even watch it. If you're interested in why WrestleMania sucked this year, I think you pretty much know the answer.
Just this year?
Nobody was there. Nobody was there. And yeah, fuck you.
I'm just kidding.
No, you're not.
I had to throw it in there. I was joking. No,
I know.
He picks on us, but he gets so invested in a bunch of men wearing thongs and oiled up, beating each other up. He's like, "This is ridiculous. I can't believe they did that." I'm like, "I can't believe you watched this."
But it's funny when it's UFC, it's okay.
That's real fighting.
Really fighting.
It's still entertainment. It's still whatever you make of it. If you watch cars go around in circles and you get off on that because somebody's drafting win better, hey, whatever knocks you out, man.
No,
I
WrestleMania
should have been fun.
You enjoying it, and to be honest with you, I went to your house, I watched it, and enjoyed watching you watch it and getting mad because I wasn't. Actually, that's what I enjoyed. So never mind. Go on.
Honestly, this friendship, I'm shocked. If we survived this pandemic, I'd be surprised. To be honest with you.
Hey, you always have your man theater to watch. You'll be fine.
Yeah. That's funny. I'll give you that one. Truth be told, I was expecting something at the very least original, and they did deliver that, but it wasn't entertaining. The matches weren't good. You realize just how much a crowd matters.
It definitely matters because, for one thing, it's got to give the guys in the ring motivation, just like any other stage performer, like a stand-up comedian isn't going to sit on stage and tell his jokes to nobody. It's
Right.
The chemistry is off.
And I mean, I get that they do TV without an audience a lot of the time, and so jokes still have to have a payoff.
Yeah.
This really, you realize just how much these guys feed off the crowd, and so
Yeah.
I give them
But weren't
credit
they
for
doing
it.
I'm sorry, weren't they doing it in the same type of arena though? Just
Most
with no one in
of
the
it.
seats?
And then what they did was they took two matches. The headline match of each night was cinematically presented, where The Undertaker, who's now no longer a dead guy, actually did murder somebody according to the storyline. AJ Styles ended buried with his hand sticking out of the ground going limp. So The Undertaker murdered somebody in a very cinematic fashion with Metallica playing in the background. It was really, really epic. Then on the next
But it's
night,
cool, though. The cops aren't coming. He's just gonna have to deal with it next season. Yeah. Like, nobody can. The cops are like, "Oh no, that's wrestling. They can kill each other. It's cool."
The world of wrestling is fascinating. I've seen people talk back to Vince McMahon and get suspended in storylines, but The Undertaker murdered somebody. And
Yeah,
they're just
yeah.
gonna. But because it was so well presented, they didn't care. It was actually cool, but it was like watching TV. It wasn't a wrestling match. And
Yeah.
then the next night, I won't even get into what Bray Wyatt and John Cena did. I'm just glad John Cena is going away.
Yep.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. The rest of the week, I also got toilet paper, but I got a different kind of toilet paper. If you hear about bus stations having a shortage, I got those big industrial-sized rolls. I saw it on Amazon. They're the kind of rolls where you could stick your arm through, pretend you're the Michelin Man.
I'm going to need some of those.
Yeah, well, I had you in mind. I've got 12 industrial-sized rolls of this stuff coming next Thursday.
They're like you could use them as fucking spare tires.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Nice plush ride.
Yeah.
The review were outstanding. And all of them were funny because it was all like, yeah, I was part of the great toilet paper shortage of 2020.
Right.
Desperate times call for desperate measures. And yeah, you can even double up on this stuff and your septic will absolutely devour it. You could read through this shit. But when the alternative is rationing it to the kids, I think that it'll be fine.
Yeah.
We're going to leave this in the upstairs bathroom. I don't need people knowing I bought these things. They look like they should be going into like adding machines. Just the most ridiculous rolls of toilet paper I've ever owned. I don't know how I'm going to keep it. I was thinking of getting like a big rack like they sell, like the dispenser.
Yep.
And have like a wall dispenser where you just got to keep pulling it, get a tear strip on it. I might also shoot my neighbor's golden retriever. I love dogs. I love animals in general. But Emmett he comes over to my house just to shit on my lawn.
Wait, is this the dog that would kind of wander into the garage
yeah.
Emmett.
every so
When
often?
we were recording,
Yeah.
he would just walk in, and next thing you know, I got a dog's
Yeah.
head on my lap. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Emmett.
Emmett's good
But now
dog.
he's taken to
Well,
he's taken to just shitting on the lawn.
He just comes over purposely for the express purpose of coming over to shit on my house and leave. And it's really starting to drive me nuts. So I went and talked to the neighbor, from a safe distance. I said, is there, I used the landscaping thing. I'm like, the landscapers were complaining.
Yeah.
We don't have landscapers.
So instead of saying landscapers, you could have just said Melissa.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be neighborly. I really am. I'm trying
Yeah.
to
No,
make
I get,
Yeah,
you're trying to be diplomatic. I got you.
but
Because you don't want to start
she
a feud.
And right away, she was like, oh, of course. I'm so sorry. I'll come over and pick it up right away. Well, she must have overheard me yelling about this or chasing her dog off my property because now she won't talk to me, but she'll talk to my kids. So, but whatever. You can't have your dog shitting on people's lawn. I'd be embarrassed if Maggie was running around shitting on her lawn. I'd be mortified.
Well,
But
I
she's
had-
just so passively whatever.
You could have gone the other way. Like my neighbor got really fed up with the woman across the street because she kept walking her dog over and shitting in his front yard.
Yep.
In front of his stone wall, and so he got pissed off and just picked it up and winged it at his side door one day,
Oh, well, what's funny is
like paintball.
yeah, I did something similar when I had I don't know. Do you remember Athena, Dave?
Yeah.
First, yeah.
Yep.
She was such a great dog. She was a sweet dog, but she had a spot that she would go in. It was funny.
Okay.
Like out of my whole yard, she would go in one spot. So it was great because it was easy for me to just go. I would go clean it up and put it away, like not put it away like I was keeping it, throw it away. And then once in a while, and the thing is if I didn't do it for a couple of days, then she'd start shitting random spots in my yard. You know what I mean?
She didn't know what to do.
Yeah, she didn't know. So she would just go over here and go over there. I'm like, that's where we walk, But but one thing she never did was shit in my driveway. And all of a sudden, I'm getting these shits in my driveway, and I'm like, for one thing, I'm like, I have a Rottweiler. That is not a Rottweiler shit. That fucking little tiny fucking turd that's in the driveway. So I'm like, I was wondering for the longest time what was going on. So then I had broke my ankle, and I was out of work.
Yep.
So I'm sitting upstairs in my bedroom, and I hear someone talking on a phone, and I look out the window, and it was the neighbor from up front, to the right of me, with her
Chuck?
little dog.
It was Chuck. Chuck was
No,
shitting in
yeah,
your driveway.
With this, she had this little. I forgot what kind of dog it was. She was in my yard talking on the phone with the dog on a leash, and the dog shitting in my driveway. And so I was like,
fuck?
So then I thought to myself. So the first day I thought to myself, I'm like, nah, she can't be doing that. She had to been on the phone, not paying attention, and the dog did it. You know what I mean? While she's leaning on my fence. Next day, fucking same thing. So I'm like,
No
you
shit.
motherfucker. So I started going out there and cleaning them up, and I was putting them in the doggy bags that I had for my dog. And I took a whole bunch of them, and I kept them, and then I went and I tied them to her doorknob of her house. and I left a note, and I said, these are yours. Stay the fuck out of my yard. Well, I didn't say stay the fuck. I said stay out of my yard.
Yeah.
And and then she actually said something to me. Like, it wasn't me. It was, I said, lady, I've been home. I'm watching you. I was like, I'm like, I'll let my dog out while your dog's taking a dump, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
My dog takes dumps the size of your dog. So,
Well, that was what the neighbor said
the worst
to me,
part
too.
is that was just a threat, because if I let my dog out, she would have ran right to that little dog and been like, "This is the best little puppy ever. I want to play with it." Nothing would have happened. It would have been awful. I would have looked like such a.
That's not the point.
I would have looked like such a pussy. It would have been horrible.
Send the cat out. Send Vader out.
Oh fuck yeah, that cat'll fuck people up.
But that was just it. The neighbor was like, are you sure they're Emmets? I'm like, okay, the last time I saw something this big, Laura Dern had her arm in it in Jurassic Park. Fucking kidding me? You seen Maggie? She's borderline dainty.
Yep.
fucking elephant turds all over my yard, and they're random colors. I don't know what this dog eats, but my God, it's like she feeds him Play-Doh 3 days a week.
That dog's walking through the neighborhood eating anything people will hand to it. That's the thing.
He doesn't leave the property. He's actually really well trained, but he's just got in his head that I've got a bathroom. Now, if you look over by my tree, it's nothing but dead grass.
Yep.
He's just killing my grass over there. So I lied about the landscaper. I might actually need one now. It's fucking ridiculous. It's almost karmic. But the only other thing I wanted to say, because our week in review is as long as the actual week.
Yep.
I want to say just tonight I saw a headline, sad headline. Actor Timothy Jones, who was in both the MASH movie and the MASH TV series for at least a season, he's the one who played the amazing Spear Chucker Jones.
Yep.
In other words, he was the only black guy in the show.
Yeah.
It was Tim Brown, right?
I don't think it was Tim Brown. Was it Tim Brown? Oh, yeah, Tim Brown.
Tim Brown,
Tim Brown,
Tim Brown, my fault. Don't have the outline in front of me. Obviously I wasn't a huge fan of the actor. I really don't care. I forgot his name. What I do care about is the New York Post, which has posted everything it has ever wanted to say without a filter. Refused to name him Spear Chucker.
Yeah.
Because of the obvious negative connotations.
Obvious.
But that movie was a moment in time. It was reflective of the era. That
was his legacy.
More or less.
As an actor. That was his biggest.
That's what he was known for.
That was what he was known for. That was his biggest role.
And I'm embarrassed on behalf of the New York Post. I realize you don't want to get hate mail, especially when 90% of the headlines right now are so serious and somber.
Yeah.
But this is what he was known for. And it frustrates me that all of a sudden the New York Post is getting some kind of weird social conscience when they're not the ones who named him that.
No, they didn't name him that. I mean, I get it. At a point, I understand why they didn't want to do it. But at the same time, like I said, and I don't want to say that was his legacy, was being a fucking token. You know what I mean?
But it was.
But it was. But that was
wasn't much of an actor.
Yeah. But that was his claim to fame. And that's who he was. And I bet you if he showed up at Comic-Con, he would have been like, I'm Spear Chucker Jones.
Well, if he shows up this year, I'll go.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
He's hanging out with the Walking Dead cast. No.
Every now and then they lean him a little different.
And I get it. I really do. I get it. But at the same time, I mean, there's 1,000 other characters that were the same thing. You know what I mean?
Are we going to go down the Mark Twain route again? It just seemed like a
no.
very odd time for a very forward-thinking newspaper. Love them or hate them.
Yeah.
They've always done their own thing.
And the Mark Twain thing is different. There's, well, I guess there have been people that have played those characters in movies.
Yeah.
I get, but I'm, you have these characters. I mean, anything from there was a point in film called blaxploitation. You know what I mean?
He's a boss.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah. I mean, there's a ton.
Took me a second there.
There's a ton of stuff like that. Was it good? Like, the films are fantastic for me. I love those movies. They were fucking great. Of course you do. Because I love bad movies. I do. But I mean, was it right? No. Was it a sign of the time? Absolutely.
And so was MASH.
And did people take offense? I'm sure maybe some did back then, but everybody took it with a grain of salt. Even the people that were starring in the movies took it with a grain of salt, knew exactly what they were doing. So we're trying to be...
It was done as an outcry because there were no real black leads. If you weren't Sidney Poitier back in the early 70s,
yeah, exactly,
then you weren't getting leading man roles.
Yep.
Even in 1970. So at that point, it was an embarrassment. So they went out and created their own subgenre, and it worked. And the fact that we call it blaxploitation, I don't think they called it that. But I'm blown away that Robert Altman created a character. Nothing else.
Yeah.
Nothing else. And the New York Post, which never has shied away from a headline or some type of controversy, suddenly got all shy tonight. And I'm a little weirded out by it. I'm a little pissed off. But you know what? Enough. Let's move on to some coronavirus headlines because Lord knows we need more of those. One thing I do love about this week's headlines, though, I think for the first time since this pandemic hit, we have a theme.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's funny you said Lord knows to lead us into this.
Yep.
Well, if you don't think this is God smoting us.
Smiting.
Smite or
Smite.
smite or
Smite.
smote? Smite.
Smite.
Smote would be past tense, right?
Yes.
Craig, just mute yourself. Just put yourself on mute. We're talking
that's
grammar
right.
and spelling.
That's right. Fucking Merriam-Webster over there.
I never heard.
Correct
I
me.
never
Go
heard
fuck
smote
yourself.
before. It's smite.
Well, God. Okay, good. Well, one of
Yeah.
us is going to experience that someday.
Yeah.
It seems like coronavirus, according to many of the world's more visible Christians, is a message from God.
Apparently.
That seems to be the theme
Yeah.
in the headlines this week. Just to rattle off a few, coronavirus, the pastor who decried the hysteria dies after attending Mardi Gras.
yeah.
Time out. So the virus is hysteria, not Mardi Gras. I want to
No.
make sure I get this straight.
Yeah. No.
Mardi Gras, cool.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
And there's a
Shitting
good
on the
chance-
corner, then getting a blowjob in the convenience store, okay.
Yep.
Absolutely. Pissing
Having a
on
cough,
your neighbor.
not good.
Not good. Yep.
That's it. That never mind the AIDS that runs rampant
Yeah.
through the French Quarter. Right up and down Bourbon Street, you can literally see it in the air. It rises like heat off a desert highway.
Yep.
You just see disease.
You can order a chlamydia teeny, for Christ's sake, while you're down there.
Yep. Yep.
Sip it through a straw.
It's best when you squeeze the balls on this penis mug.
You have to drink it like this.
What's funny though, when they show Mardi Gras videos, it's always really young, attractive women flashing their tits. I saw one woman when I was down there for it. I saw one woman do this,
Yeah.
and she could have done body shots off herself.
I saw a woman do it, and I was like, you didn't even have to lift your shirt up. You could have just raised your hands. Like you just put your arms up, and your tits would have been out near her waist.
Just inhale deeply and your tits just pop out your shirt.
It was, yeah, it's fucked up. It's a crazy place, and granted, I'm sure there's some great boobs down there. When it's
I'm
happening,
sure.
and I mean, like I said, I've been there, and I was fucking wasted out of my fucking mind, so I didn't see those. I just saw. I'm like, ugh, gross. Did you see that? And then the worst part is nobody ever shows the 1,000 dicks that get whipped out. You know what I mean?
Right. Wait, are you making a request?
No.
What's happening?
What I'm saying is there's
More
people
dicks.
there's people that whip their dicks out and stuff. It's like, what the fuck? It's a fucking gross disaster.
You do that at your own cookouts.
Yeah, but it's my cookout.
We've never really addressed this on the show. 134 episodes.
I've never
We have
whipped
never,
my dick out.
You might as well have. I watched you dive into the pool wearing this one-piece man thong once, and
Yeah.
you winked at me, and I didn't need that. You're like, Brad, come to my party. It's going to be a great time. Sure, I finally go on the 3rd of July, one of my favorite times of year. And Craig jumps into the pool while wearing this thing that barely covered his nuts and didn't cover his fucking anus.
At
I
all.
can tell you that.
Yeah. No, that all
It
started.
looked like it was in trouble.
That all started because of one of the funny things is I don't think if he knows this either, but it all started because of my cousin Matt. Right? We were playing poker one night in the house. I used to have poker games in the house. Sit in the dining room, bunch of us. Ricky from the Tool cover band, right? All those guys. We would all come here. We would sit down and we'd play poker every Friday night. And then it started getting serious. At first, it started off as fun. Then it started getting serious. Like, people were coming here to make money. And I was like, all right, this is fucking out of control now. Like, no, but you if you won the night, you were leaving here with $200 to $300,
yeah.
which isn't a ton of money, but
That's a
it's
good night
a
at the
Friday
office, though.
night of fun and but it got so crazy that people started getting so serious about it. That was my thing. I got mad because it was like, you're getting too serious about wanting to leave with that money. It's supposed to be fun. If you won, you're lucky. You know what I mean? Just go home with that. So one night I come, everybody starts showing up. People are in my dining room wearing fucking sunglasses.
Come on.
Oh, no, headphones and shit.
And I'm like, are you fucking serious? And they're all sitting there straight faced trying to, and I'm like, so everybody's trying to sit here like avoiding their tell, you know what I mean? And doing all this shit. So I was like, all right, fuck you guys. So I was like, all right, I'll be right back. And I went upstairs and I fucking got, Fran had bought me as a joke and she does it, her and my sister-in-law every year they buy matching thongs for me and my brother-in-law as a joke. It's been an on-running joke forever. And so I went upstairs and I put it on. And I took all my clothes off and I had this fucking string fucking thong on. And I came downstairs and I sat down and I said, all right, let me see your fucking tell now. Like, all right, everybody's all straight-faced. You want to be fucking, everyone wants to be cool with sunglasses on. Fuck you, I'm sitting here like this right now. And that's how it all started. And then I don't know, for some reason, it just started happening on the 3rd of July.
I mean, all I know is what I saw looked like season 2 of What's Happening.
Yeah. It's not pretty.
It was atrocious.
It wasn't supposed to be.
No, but there were children there as recently as 10 minutes prior, and it was just an awful experience.
I don't do it with children.
I almost left.
I never did it with children there. Don't give me that. That's always that's late night. That shit happens late night.
I'm sorry. We're talking about Christians, and it just seemed like the natural flow of progression.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
All right.
Speaking of which, Pat Robertson, he's another one.
That
the famous
fucking clown.
The one and the only Pat Robertson.
Yeah.
He's blaming coronavirus on oral sex because that's how you get it, apparently. And also something he's deeming lady chemicals.
Yeah. He fucking blamed it on going down on women. When he says oral sex, he's going down on women, not guys, because I'm sure he's caught a couple of blowjobs in his day. Right? And he's saying, oh, when you go down there, you don't know. The ladies have chemicals that you don't know, and that's where it came from. This is a man.
Holy fuck, ball.
This is a man who's the scariest part is he's very prominent in society. In general.
Well, what's scary is people believe
in the country.
him.
Yes. Now, it's fucking scary. This guy said this. Then the worst part was he said, this is happening now because of that. Because when I was coming up, nobody did oral sex.
Yeah, well, he said committed oral sex.
Yeah,
that's the best part.
Yeah.
He said no one committed oral sex.
Yeah.
We've been looking for the clitoris for about 800 calendar years.
Yeah. There's actual fucking, what do they call them?
Cave paintings and shit.
The Roman, reliefs. Not in Roman, of people fucking blowing each other. It's like I think in Pompeii, isn't there a fucking photo of a guy trying to suck his own dick?
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah, he's got it in an ancient wheelbarrow.
Yeah. It's not a fucking new.
We call that schmoting.
Fucking. That guy is fucking out of his fuck. They all are. They're all out of their fucking mind.
Yeah,
well, the article pointed out that he blamed 9/11 on witches.
Yeah.
And lesbians.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. They prey on overly religious people who have nothing else to fall back on and will believe anything these people say.
Yep. Exactly.
I've seen these people down south. They're out of their minds. These people, there's no talking any sense into these people.
Well, that's the thing is they don't think for themselves. They need somebody else to think for them.
They can't. Like they're so downtrodden in their own lives that they will believe anything to make themselves have a chance to feel better.
Somebody walks up to them that sounds a little more educated, a little smarter than they feel. I'm not saying that they are, because I'm sure some of those people are smarter than him, but they feel but they feel
it's a fine line.
They feel like he's the guy. Like, no, he knows what he's talking about. So it must be true.
He did a really good job memorizing a book.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
that's it. There's nothing else to it.
Or making what the fuck was his name? The Mormon guy, the fucking Jebediah, whatever the fuck that guy's name was, who fucking was like, hey, hold on. God wrote me a book, but it's in my hat. I'll read it to you. And everybody's like, okay. You can't see it. It's in my hat. Matter of fact, it's being on golden pages.
Says here, Jesus fucked 5 women at once. Ladies.
Exactly.
Just have her strip off your special underwear.
Yeah.
That's it.
Fucking Mormons.
Who wants to whittle some wood?
Yeah.
But I think that's the problem, is that people just follow them.
Yeah.
It's,
Blindly.
it's literally a parable about blind belief. And that's the next headline. 647 cult members tested positive for COVID-19 after holding a religious congregation in India, even though we were told not to do that.
Yep.
Scientists, which are bad people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're in India, so these 647 people were all next to each other in the foyer of the church.
They were on the train.
On the side of it.
Yeah. The wind
were all
will
in
blow off the disease.
Yeah, they were all in row 22 in seats B and D.
B is in Bollywood. D is in Delhi.
Oh my!
So yeah, people don't do that.
No, it's happening here in this country too. People are still going to church,
Yep.
and they're having these big gatherings, and all these people are getting sick, and they're shocked.
These pastors that are saying, like, there was one guy. It was last week. I think he got arrested. In Texas, that said,
Yeah,
he said, if you get it, I'll lay hands on. That was the quote. I'll lay hands on you and cure you.
Oh.
yeah.
And he was like, come to my service. In other words, come here, put money in the basket, and if you get sick, I won't come anywhere near you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it now. That I'll come and put hands on you. Yeah, no.
That's a figure of speech.
Yeah, that was a figure of
Yeah.
speech. Yeah. That's the thing. They're fucking all nuts. They're all fucking nuts. I can't.
Well, what about this one? In Israel,
This is my favorite one.
the Holy Land. Israel
The
health
Holy
minister who claims coronavirus is a divine punishment for homosexuality tests positive for COVID-19. What you got to confess there, Abraham?
Yeah. That's the fucking best. I love that.
So
Some dude holding his curls, just yanking his face. But yeah, it's fucking insane. They're all crazy.
I mean, this is like the epicenter of religion. Like nothing in religion happened anywhere pretty much but this section of the world. And
Yeah.
Israel, the holiest land of all.
Yep.
You think if it was holier, they would have like less desert and less brown.
Yep.
But that aside, you go to Israel.
The land of milk
apparently-
and honey wouldn't be
Yeah.
a fucking dirt field.
One sentence you never hear in Israel is, "Oh, ask my gardener."
Yeah.
yeah.
Apparently, Emmett's over there just pissing and shitting all over the landscape.
John Deere is having a hell of a time with sales over there.
But Temple Beth Jean Deere does very well.
Yeah. What the
The
fuck?
Star of Deer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's serendipitous. If you want to blame everything on homosexuality, I'm not hearing about a whole lot of gay people getting this from doing what they do.
No, because
No.
it's people getting this. Doesn't
Yeah.
Anybody
discriminate.
breathing.
Doesn't discriminate of fucking age, gender, fucking nothing. It's a fucking virus. It doesn't care. It doesn't give a shit.
No.
You know. It's,
Ugh.
it's fucking so stupid.
I honestly, I love it. I love the fact that we can mock this, but it's getting exhausting. Reading these headlines, I have to say, I used to find humor in it, and I'm like, oh, we can do this on the show because
yeah.
it happened once. We're seeing weeks and weeks and weeks of this,
Yeah.
and now all of a sudden, people have run out of stories. Some guy's saying the curve is flattening. Another guy's saying we're going to see the worst of
Yeah.
it in August.
It's
One guy's
insane.
saying heat will kill it. Another guy is saying that heat won't do a goddamn thing
Yeah.
with it. It's already living in your lungs. It's pretty hot in there.
Yeah.
About 98.6 if you're healthy. It's just one thing after another. I don't know what to believe. It's all white noise now.
You gotta wait.
And
And
so
hope you don't
people
get it.
But when you don't
Yeah.
have answers to things, then you create them by blaming it all on faith.
Yeah. And
What do they always say?
I have no problem with faith, with people being. I don't typically try to mock people that are religious, but when you're out of your fucking mind, religious. Then I gotta fucking point a finger at you. There's
Yeah,
one
when
thing-
you abandon logic and reason.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I hear you.
When you yeah, I have no problem with religion in general. But like you said, when you abandon logic and everything becomes like driven by that, you have an issue.
Yeah, like
Because-
I think of my grandparents who were very, very Catholic. My grandfather sang in the church choir. My grandmother was there every weekend.
Yeah.
If they were alive now, both of them would be like, "We'll talk to God at home. We'll see y'all in July."
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, stop blowing
know,
each
like-
other.
Yeah.
Fag.
I swear to God, if I ever heard that from my grandparents, that's it.
Exactly.
Game over.
Yep.
I mean, they ask you to spend half the day on your knees,
Yeah.
and then they want to know why all this blowjob action is happening, with a bunch of weird, creepy statues watching you the whole time. Oh,
No,
I
it's
never
always. It's always. It's just. I don't get it. I really don't.
Anyway,
Let's move on to the next topic.
Yeah, we do have some other things to talk about, and for once, it's kind of relevant, meaning we're relevant apparently. So we're gonna go back to what we do, and we're gonna get into some headlines, and well, we aside from the COVID headlines, some actual fun stuff to get into. But the first one Brad alluded to in the intro, so if you're paying attention,
alluded.
the joke was in my the terms I used. Craig
wouldn't say
term
it
means
was-
word.
I wouldn't say it was so much of a headline as an order.
Yeah, yeah. It was legal print.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I want to check Craig's search history on right away because he first looked up cease, then he looked up desist.
It did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was cease to exist. That's right.
We're hoping to serve her with one of them.
Yep.
yeah, right. So what we're talking about is Lindsay Lohan files cease and desist order against Rhode Island podcast, and if you haven't guessed, folks, that Rhode Island podcast is us.
Yeah. Yep.
We have arrived.
Which actually is making me laugh because there's another Rhode Island podcast that would love the publicity that they're not getting.
Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, apparently someone listened to our show just from last week, so not that long ago.
No.
One
Yeah.
of Lindsay's people.
Right,
Yep.
so it turns out that she really is as irrelevant as we thought because she's listening to our show.
She's listening. Yep. And she's just
I
as
don't
much
think
as a
she
skank.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I really don't think it's her. I think she's got a publicist that might have been checking it out.
yeah,
I said,
maybe.
"Holy shit, they're trashing my one
Oh my
remaining
God.
client."
Yeah. She's like, they're gonna sue us for $10. Because that's what we got.
Her one agent, Jerry McHire.
Yeah. You may have seen me in
Right, but does this mean we've made it? We're being served legal papers from someone famous with air quotes.
I feel like this is like the mafia.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's first mugshots get posted to the wall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like we broke our cherry.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, a little bit of litigation goes a long way towards making us relevant.
Yeah.
Because you can't piss people off if they're not listening to you. So in a weird roundabout way, I'm actually taking this as a really positive step in the progression of the show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I gotta be honest. I'm a little disappointed though.
No, it's,
Not that.
no,
No,
it's
I'm
funny.
disappointed because I was hoping it was going to be Feldman that sued us.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would have been killer. Just
you would
call him back.
think,
Hey, tell
right?
your lawyers to go for it.
Right. Like I would be excited to see both of our public defenders go against each other.
Our court-appointed attorneys.
Yeah.
Yeah. you would think. You would think.
We're going to sit there and compare, you know, our single comma bank accounts against each other.
He needs his lawyer pro boner.
They're like, you need to give us 3 T-shirts and a and a couple of coasters.
And I want to be thanked on the inevitable Corey Feldman live album.
Yeah.
Right?
But fucking Lindsay Lohan, all we did
Yeah.
was call her out for bad timing. If you actually break down what
Yeah.
we talked about, all we really said was she's a little tone deaf with the timing of this thing. Yeah, we made a few saggy tits references or whatever, but does she really think
I called
us
her a
three
ham
assholes?
wallet.
You did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did.
And I liken
All right,
such
so
ham
maybe.
wallet to Jorge Posada's catcher's mitt.
Yeah.
Oh.
There was that. Yeah.
Starting to wonder, maybe, just maybe, she might have had a point after all.
Yeah.
This is a little bit of slander going on here.
Well, we
You
got to
know-
be careful because we can't keep going. We're talking about what we did say.
No,
so
I
I
wouldn't.
think we're all right.
I wouldn't say
It's
things
the
like
news at this point.
I wouldn't say things like she looks like a catcher's mitt that's been left in the rain. You know, you know what I mean? Like, you pick it up, it's heavy and soggy and gross. Like, I wouldn't say that.
No.
No.
She looks like a rain delay if it had a face.
Yeah. Yes.
Remember that ball game we started 12 years ago?
Yeah.
And everybody that went was like, yeah, as soon as they got there, they knew it was a terrible game.
Yeah.
Honestly, her number one movie should be called Herpes the Love Bug.
Yeah.
That would have been a much better single to release during a pandemic, you fucking clown.
Right. Yeah.
You and Ronald McDonald share a lot more than hair color. It's fucking DNA.
She's like,
Yeah.
hold on, I'm gonna release this crappy. I'm gonna make people want to hang themselves more.
Yeah.
If this is indeed a man-made pandemic just to control population, Lindsay's doing her part.
Yeah.
Yep.
But we bow down. We bow down to her, to her
legal
order.
team?
Yeah. So we won't deal with it anymore. Oh, hold on. Molly doesn't want us to bow down. You hear her bark?
Yep.
She's like, no, fuck Lindsay Lohan.
Oh, I thought that was Lohan calling in.
No,
I won't
that's-
lie to you. I tend to be the nervous one in this group, and I'm really glad it was just a cease and desist because basically all we have to do is stop. Wait a minute.
Yep.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Oops.
This is my second cease and desist
it's-
letter. Back in
it-
college.
It was
I had-
retroactive. Right.
No, well,
Yeah.
yeah. She starts citing every episode we've
we
trashed
already
her
had
fucking
this
meat flaps in,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
locally and on the web.
Yeah.
But no, honestly, this is my second cease and desist. Back in college, I did a college paper, and they were talking about the new internet rules because back in
Yeah.
the time it was a big deal for journalism, and it was about how quickly rumors could
Like,
spread.
you can't
And so,
eat shit out of that cup, Brad.
Yeah. If only that video had a manual.
You can only wear it. You can't
Yeah.
eat it.
So, but see, to me, the gray area was: can I open my mouth and look like I'm waiting to eat it?
Yeah.
Like a kid under a soft serve
Yeah.
machine. You know, everybody dreams of going to Carvel and having that little moment.
Yeah.
But anyway, getting back on point, in college, I wrote a rumor that the Batman series was going to make Master P, who was big at the time.
Yeah, you did.
He was going to be the new Batman, and it was going to be an all-new urban take on Batman. And within 48 hours, I had a cease and desist emailed to me from Warner Brothers.
No shit.
And so I got an A on the project and my name in many legal documents.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But that was the whole point at the time. Even then, when the internet wasn't such a prolific part of our life every day,
Yep.
the fact that something could spread like wildfire, I saw it in forums within minutes. All I did was post an article to a fairly trafficked forum.
Wow.
And it was an article I created. And the funny thing is, if you look at the website address, it's clearly at the University of Maryland.
Yep. But
So it looked like it was a bogus page.
it happens
but it
all the
happened.
time. And that's the funny thing is you see these things people post. Oh, I mean, just look at Facebook. My mother says I'm ugly. And it's an ugly kid, right? Sitting there.
Yeah.
my mother says I'm ugly, and if I don't get 1,000 likes before tonight, I'm not gonna have dinner. You know,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like you get that shit, and it spreads.
That was on
it
Lindsay
goes around.
Lohan's Instagram account.
I got fucking within a week, like, and not all in the same day, over the thing. Oh, it's National like Best Friends Week. Send me a beer, and then National Best Friends Day. Send me a beer, and then 3 days later I got one. I'm like, No, you're late. It was the other day. And then I got another one. And I'm like, I'm not sending this to anybody, just so you know. But shit
honestly, you hear me
spreads.
complain about my kids a lot. You hear me make a lot of jokes at their expense. They're obviously all jokes. But if there are two people that should eat bullets regularly, it's Dina and Michael Lohan.
Yeah. No, it's true.
Absolutely. They have offered nothing to the world. We have gone backwards. They changed the rotation of the earth. That's how fucking backwards their fucking clown of a kid is. And the sad thing is, I don't even think she's heard our show because she still thinks she's busy and relevant.
Yeah.
But her publicist was bored, and Lindsay Lohan's probably the last client. I'm pretty sure she,
it's some.
They're probably handling like fucking O-Town or whatever.
This is that agent or lawyer's way to be like, hey,
I
look
need
what I
to
did
earn,
for
I
you.
need to earn my money.
Yeah.
Let me talk to these guys.
I'm just glad it was only a cease and desist, though, because if they had actually gotten into some real litigation, we'd be fucked.
Yeah. And that's what I was thinking too. I mean, I was like, and we can separate it, like social distancing, like her knees, and just fucking spread it out like her thighs.
I'd like to social distance her head from her shoulders.
Yeah.
I wonder if you blow in one of her ears if her hair blows on the other side.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's a thing. But
I
you know
think
what?
her
I
head
haven't
blows
done
any
this.
direction.
Something blows on the other side.
And can I make the sound effect? I haven't done this since we've gone remote.
Yeah. There you go. That's it.
You know what's awful about that sound effect is that's the same sound I make when the baby wants to play with her stuffed stuffed animal.
It's versatile.
And every time I do it, I'm like, she thinks I'm doing a bat, but in my head I hear Brad doing that to describe someone's disgusting vagina.
I mean, Lindsay Lohan's vagina is nasty.
Oh, I'm sure.
I agree.
It hangs low.
But I feel like hers wouldn't be like what you did. It would be more like, like dragging behind you, like the killer in like some old horror movie that's dragging his leg that's now bum.
Yeah, like fucking dragging across the floor like the chains in fucking Scrooge. Like,
right? Yeah.
Like snails on your driveway. Honestly, they should change your last name to Low Hang. That would make a lot more sense. Anyway.
So we should probably stop talking and trashing it since we got this order.
I'm talking about Lindsay Lohan.
This was pre-recorded.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Right,
we're pre-recorded.
All right, next headline. Craig, you got this one? We got to go back to COVID as much as I don't want to.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
But we have to.
It's one of those like we did last week where it's kind of an indirect headline. It's not the story itself.
Yeah.
So I think we're good with it.
That's fair. And Dave, honestly, this should be your headline if there ever was.
Yeah, right. But I've talked too much, so Craig can take it.
Irony cures COVID-19. Fecal matter found to fight the virus.
Some
Which is
journalist
amazing.
wrote that. Some journalist wrote irony.
Yeah. Which I immediately grasped onto because I was like, I'm almost out of toilet paper.
I'm cured. Yes.
I'm all set. Like, actually, this is the best thing. All the toilet paper hoarders are going to die.
Yeah.
And all those people that don't have toilet paper are going to make it because we got
you're
shit
gonna
on
smell
their,
so bad. Social distancing won't be an issue.
Because we got fucking racks of shit under our fingernails.
It's all cakey like a bike after a 2-mile ride. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, yeah, that screwed it up.
Yeah.
I'm the one who crossed the line. Fuck off.
Oh, so it seems like that no rimming ordinance in New York was wrong for the different reasons than we projected.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. And actually, that plays into the next headline, too, but we'll get to that.
But the funny thing is, like they say, like it's actually been a big cure. They're finding because they call them is it fecal transplants?
Oh yeah, that's a big thing.
No, it's a big thing, and they're finding that it treats a lot of people for a lot of different serious illnesses. But the only problem with this one is they're saying you gotta like fold it into a ball and freeze it, and then tuck it under your tongue like a lozenge.
Oh,
No, I'm just.
Yeah,
he's like, no, I'm kidding. You don't freeze it.
No, you don't freeze it. You just smash
you
it
gotta
on
let
your
it melt.
You just smash it in your gums.
It's It's like that gum you used to get with the goo in the middle,
Yep.
like Tidal Wave or whatever that shit was called.
You got a packet like skull in your bottom lip.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Just tuck that little shit nugget in your lip. You're good.
Shit nugget.
There we go.
Hey, there's Craig's dog. One person here that wouldn't mind eating some shit right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Excited, like fired up. She heard turds. She's like, what?
I want to cure my dad. I'm going to cure my dad.
Yeah. By eating him and then licking his face while he's sleeping.
That's right.
But there actually is some validity to the whole gut bacteria replacement thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're basically they're emptying your turds out and then replacing it with somebody else's. Somebody who's got a more or less a born again. Listen to me.
Like
all this Christian talk has got.
Someone's got fantastic turds.
Like that's a model.
They're
turd
like, look
right
at
there.
that thing. That thing is sweet. Let's grab that, freeze it, and ram it up that dude's butt.
Could you imagine scientists just gathering around a monitor?
'Cause-
Look at the formation. Look how easily it glides through the digestive tract. That's exactly what you're aspiring to here.
See, my thing is with the freezing. I consistently think that you have to freeze it because how else are you going to get it in there?
Right?
You know?
Unless you're using like an air hose.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You
I
either
don't know,
go to
I
your
think-
doctor or the gas station where you
Yeah.
can get the air pump.
Well,
That's
you
the
just-
worst part about shit. Oral absorption is not ideal,
Yeah.
but
Nope.
it's probably necessary for the full efficacy of this treatment.
Oh shit!
wow.
Oh goddamn!
Yeah.
See, I didn't have a
Craig
word.
didn't
of the
get a
week.
word of the week.
No,
You
we
did,
we
yeah.
took just after I saw your Facebook post, I was like, that's enough beratement for the week. Let's give him a few days off.
I got hammered, and I deserved.
Yeah,
it.
you did.
I deserved it because when I read the sentence, I was like, "Nope, they're right." I was like I said, I was angry and I had a wicked buzz going on. I was drinking beer. I was just sitting around and I typed it, and when I was done, I was like, "Fuck." And then the worst part was when I went and edited it. I went back, I edited it, and then I read it again. I'm like, "Fuck." I just stopped here. I'm like, I'm just gonna leave it and just
Full
respond.
transparency. In between, like we took a break and we were chatting on the box, and Craig said something he meant to say comma, and he spelled coma.
Yes, yes. And I immediately responded, "Fuck you." I was like, I know it came out. It said coma. I know.
And do you know what's
Instead-
easier than just saying "fuck you guys"? Learning how to spell.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I was gonna say. Instead of correcting himself for doing it right the first time, he immediately goes to fuck you,
No.
fuck you, you're cool, fuck you.
Yeah. But my thing is, I spell it wrong. Send it, then see it. That's my problem. Is I know it's spelt wrong. I looked right at it. I was like, "Fuck."
I'm starting to think this is part of your MO now.
No. Yeah, I'm like, son of a bitch. I sent that. But that's what I do is I type it fast and send. I just type it and send. I don't fucking like
Proofread.
I don't proofread at all. And it pisses me off. I need to stop doing that. But that's
I think you should take those shit-coated fingernails that you just boasted about and pray that it slides your fingers into the right position on the keyboard. I mean, at this point, anything goes. I think you try it and see what happens. I
Yep.
feel like the guy scientist trying to kill the asteroid in Armageddon. But one serious question, and I've got to pose this. We had talked several times, even predating Dave, about the use of waste matter to cure disease.
yeah.
Now they've
Fecal
talked about
transplants.
this. Fecal transplants are one thing, but also that Indian place where they were drinking their own piss
Yes.
because they claimed it had cleansing properties. Now, if you know anything about your kidneys, assuming they're working, your piss is actually one of the most sterile things out there.
it is.
So you ever wonder if maybe we should just be eating our own shit and piss, and this whole food thing is a big racket dreamt up by the government?
Dreamt up by big corporations.
Yeah, that's just it. There's no real corn.
No.
It's manufactured. This whole thing was fake.
No, exactly. It's crazy.
I mean, for the holidays, you eat a little something, but other than that, eat your own turds, drink your own piss, and enjoy a wonderfully bountiful gut.
right.
Thanksgiving, everybody has a big plate of turkey scat.
Yeah. And
You
then
eat the shit
but
of other
see,
animals now.
See, it boils down because if you were doing that, you were basically just recycling. You know what I mean? And it wouldn't be that much. And now I'm starting to find out where the toilet paper shortage comes. It's all big TP. That's what it is. They're the blame. They're the ones to blame.
Those fucking bears that can't avoid shitting on themselves. They're all sitting in big leather chairs.
Big TP.
It's big TP. That's a problem.
The
Fucking
Continental Cartel.
shamans taking over the globe right now.
Jesus, this big TP. Fuck Philip Morris.
Yeah.
Scott's running the world.
Scott, yeah, exactly. They're like, here's our sandpaper toilet paper.
Oh my god.
Now you got
You
hemorrhoids.
don't
We're gonna
actually
say-
value your asshole.
They're going to sell you hemorrhoid cream because they just ruined your asshole with their toilet paper. Like, it's cooling and itching relief.
Next week we find out that you just have to piss on lesions to get rid of AIDS.
Yeah.
Nice weepy wounds.
Turns out R. Kelly is our savior.
Yeah.
He was right.
He was right. He was He was right the whole time.
He was just immunizing the population.
Yeah.
That is fucking fantastic.
Speaking of dicks, oddly enough,
Honestly, when aren't we? I mean,
right? That's fair. Well, this next story you wouldn't expect to hear that. Well, let me take that back. We've talked not from this person.
Yeah.
So there's a headline we have from the Pope. So apparently the Pope says he's thought about masturbating to Shakira, which I thought was interesting.
I did too because I thought he spelled Shaquille wrong.
Should we pull back the curtain on this, Dave?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? I mean, he is the progressive Pope, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, I meant pull back the curtain on Craig's entry in the outline.
Oh, yeah, we really should.
I spelled Shaquille right. Fuck you.
Yeah.
No, you
Yeah,
got
but-
Shaquille right. It's the mispronounced part that you spelled wrong.
Oh.
You have mispronounced as if pronounced was entering into a beauty pageant.
Did it separate? It separated it. Brad is so right. Brad said to me 1,000 times, "Get rid of the spell check."
Yeah,
I won't do it.
It's working against you.
It is.
Yeah.
It has 1,000 times.
But let's be clear. This is a Band-Aid, not a cure.
Yeah,
No.
right.
Yeah. Exactly.
You still have to get things right eventually. Putting it mispronounced, like she was up against Miss Kentucky.
Yeah, right. Like Kelly Clarkson sang
Now
about
I'm
Miss
seeing
Independent.
it.
Craig sings about mispronounced.
Now I'm seeing it, and yes, it's fucking awful.
Phenomenal drag queen name though.
Yeah,
Phenomenal.
Right?
Hi, I'm misgendered,
Misidentified. Yeah.
and of course, the reigning champion misunderstood.
Yeah.
And if you lean
What the
if you
fuck?
lean towards the male side of thing, you're Mr. E.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
But anyway, so what's the headline? The Pope did something?
Yeah. Yes. I don't think it matters anymore.
Oh, this one matters.
Oh,
yeah,
it matters.
yeah.
This
So
one
yeah,
matters.
the Pope says he's thought about masturbating, and then he added this to Shakira, which I thought was interesting for two reasons. One, he kept it in his part of the world because he's from South America, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Argentina, I think.
Argentina,
right. And
yeah.
two, he mentioned a woman, not a little boy.
Yeah.
So this is shocking on many levels for the Catholic Church.
Well, she's got really tiny tits, so maybe he thought it was a little boy. She's all ass. Not
yeah.
up front. So he might have thought. Yeah.
Oh my God, we're gonna get two more cease and desist letter. One from the Illuminati, and then another one from Shakira because we're basically describing her as a homeless, crazy-looking South American boy.
No, she's hot. Shakira's hot.
Yeah. But that's not the issue here.
No.
The Pope one is talking about thinking about masturbating, which, if I'm not mistaken, in the Catholic Church is a no-no.
Oh no,
Oh,
you
that's a
can't.
definite no-no.
if you shake your penis to fucking get a drip off, you're done. It's over. You have to go to fucking church.
Could you think about how many problems the Catholic Church would avoid if they just let them masturbate?
Right.
It would solve so many things.
A lot.
Well, we would have missed out on so many great Monty Python songs.
Yeah, right? Right? Oh, fuck
Fucking
yeah. Monty
Catholics,
Python
man.
rules.
Oh, God.
And
This
apparently this new pope does too. I'm glad.
Yeah.
He's acknowledging that he's a man. He's acknowledging that he's got desires, because that's the one thing they never talk about until it's too late, after they take it out on the altar boys. You know, or choir members. It doesn't always have to be young and pedophilic. It could be something completely different. But
it just happens that way most of the time.
yeah, well, you know, you gotta play the cards you're dealt, right?
Oh, God.
But I mean, Catholics for years, it's always been, if it feels good, stop.
Right.
He's basically acknowledging that if they continue this way, not only are they going to not get new priests, the ones that are getting through are coming through for the wrong reasons. Priests are going to be joining for
this
more or less
coronavirus.
asylum.
Sorry.
I think you're still on SARS.
Probably. I'm back about 10 years. Yeah, so you're right.
You know what would have been great is right after he sneezed, if Fran ran in and just like took a shit in his forehead. You're cured. I caught it in time.
Yeah.
She does nurture you. She really does, baby you a bit.
Oh.
Or just a turd come flying in from off screen to hit him in the face. That's you. Flap.
All right. So do we have any final thoughts on the Pope beating off? Good thing, bad thing, what?
Good
Yes
thing
to both.
Good thing for him. Bad thing for the people that are following him, because they don't want to think that he's ever even seen his wiener. Yeah. You know, like, no, he doesn't have a dick. It just fucking, when he pulls his pants down, it just falls out. Like, pee just comes out and it's done. He doesn't have a penis, all balls.
Oh,
It plays
fucking-
heart music and disappears into the ether.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It smells like incense.
It's so...
I think it's good that he's being a little more progressive. I think it's bad for everyone receiving communion.
I think it's bad.
No, fling it to me.
I think it's bad for
I'll
the
get it.
church, you know, in general, because they're all like, "What the fuck?" And I think it's great for humanity.
All right, so the Pope beating off is a good thing, though.
Yeah,
I
depending
hope
on
so.
where you're standing.
Yep.
I'm good with that. Okay, let's move along here. This one I saved for last. And Dave, we haven't talked about it.
No, we haven't.
You know, you're the only Patriots fan on this New England-based show.
That's true.
You're a realistic fan. You're not a bandwagon hopper. You will be a
No.
Patriots fan tomorrow, but we have not addressed Tom Brady leaving the New England Patriots at 42 fucking years old.
Yep.
He's out.
He's out. We kind of sensed it, even if none of us wanted to admit it. How you doing with all this? Are you feeling good about the future of the franchise, or you think we got some lean years ahead of us?
It was bound to happen, so I don't know why people get upset. Like,
He's
wanted to
gonna
get paid.
age. Yeah, he's going to age and go away.
Yeah.
And he's not winning all your Super Bowls. I mean,
No.
he was part of it. A major
He couldn't
part
win
of
them
it.
all here.
He was 50% of your wins. Now you have no wins coming.
No, I don't know about
And they're
that
gonna-
either.
I don't know
think,
about that.
no.
I
I don't
They're
think
gonna
that
win
team's
games.
that immensely talented.
They're
I
gonna
don't
win
think he had a
games.
whole lot of weapons last year, and that's why he spent half the looking at the lights. I got to tell you, though, why do this? Why go to Tampa Bay? Yeah, they got receivers. Big fucking deal. 8 teams in the league that have receivers. What do you think you're going to do there? Joe Montana tried this. Bad move.
I think he was looking at it more than just football. I think he wanted to just get someplace else. Period.
What, somebody else? Like $90 million? That might be a key to...
He's the second highest income in his household.
Guaranteed what? Guaranteed $50 million?
Yep.
The man's going to make money on top of money. He'll never spend this fucking money.
And
I think this was... He wants to prove that he can do it without Belichick.
His wife is the highest paid model to ever walk the earth.
And she's ugly as sin.
And,
Never once been in my spank bank.
No, she's... No. I'm with
Never.
you.
She's gross.
No.
He has a better shot.
Yeah.
Of getting into your spank bank? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I'm alone a lot. Dave.
I'm sorry. Craig, I got to stop you. Brad just said that Tom Brady's got a better chance of being in his spank bank
Well, he's
than
gorgeous.
Giselle.
I have to
gorgeous
agree
man.
with him.
All
No,
right,
Giselle,
I'm out.
honestly, I'm not
I'm
like that. But Giselle is just that ugly. I find her
yeah.
so physically appalling.
His ex is more attractive. What was her name?
Yes.
Bridget
yes,
Moynihan.
Bridget Moynihan.
Oh, I thought it was
Way better
Tom
looking.
Cruise.
She is. I don't know what it is about Giselle Bundchen. She's not like fucking hideous, but
Yes, she is.
she's lanky, and I don't know.
She's a little bit better looking version of Sarah Jessica Parker.
Interesting.
Yeah. There you go. Horse face.
If
Yeah.
I saw her on the street, I'd throw change at her.
Yeah.
Horrible person.
Like I would throw individual nickels at Giselle, but I would throw a whole bag full of them at once at Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yeah. I would hold an apple slice out in my palm, like with my hand flat. Like,
Give her
so,
oats.
she didn't bite my fingers.
We're going to
Let
get
her
a
come
cease
to
and
you.
desist from Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yeah.
It's going to be
I hope so, because I want to talk to Matthew Broderick. I want to know why.
All right. Well, that's not all right. Let's get back on point here. We're going way over here. But the Tom Brady thing, the reason I brought it up wasn't because the fact that he left. That's old news.
Yeah.
And a lot of us saw it coming. But this week, Tom Brady said he moved to Florida, what I like to call God's waiting room, because he cites a need to feel younger again. And so he basically insulted half of his potential fan base.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've been to Tampa. Not young.
Not young. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's
No. Go ahead.
no, you go.
I mean, my whole point was going to be, if you want to feel young, you surround yourself with old people who can't get up on their own.
Well, it might be understood, but do you come out and say it in an interview? The guy's had a busy week of interviewing. Suddenly,
Right.
all of a sudden, he's got verbal diarrhea after 20 years of watching his tongue and biting. And maybe that was Belichick. I don't
And
know.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
maybe that's a product of where he is now. He doesn't have to watch what he says. I mean, when you go to an organization that made Jameis Winston the face of the organization, you can pretty much say whatever the fuck you want and get away with it.
That's the thing, is if you can make $90 million and play as least games as possible, then you go to Tampa, because you're not going to make it to the playoffs. So you just, you're going to play those 16 games, 7, and that's it. You know what I mean? And it's done.
Oh, I think they make the playoffs this year. I think
yeah.
they will, in spite of him. But he's going to get all the credit.
Yep.
Well,
Oh,
we
yeah.
needed a guy who can spot his receivers and
Oh,
he
yeah.
reads defenses better. It's bullshit. That team was building anyway. I just don't get the Tampa Bay thing. I just don't get it. And I more don't get why he suddenly is just exposing everything, all his deepest thoughts. Maybe when you wait 20 years to do it, it just kind of all flows out.
Yeah.
But insulting your audience, I think bad form, Tom, and I hope it comes back and bites you in the ass. If that doesn't, Sarah Jessica Parker will.
Yeah. I mean, it's Florida. They're used to being trashed and trash.
Yeah.
And they know it. But you're supposed to ingratiate yourself to your new fans. I think he's ruining his legacy twice over.
Yeah.
Montana, Favre, Namath, they all tried it. They all failed.
Yeah.
And to me, 42 years old, you've had a hell of a run, pal. But he didn't want to pick 6 to be his last one. I get it.
Yeah.
We haven't done a roundup in a while, or at least a good one.
Yeah,
Right.
we have it.
So, but Tom Brady is also going to be the subject of our roundup tonight. Dave, would you mind reading this?
Yeah. So Tom Brady reviews Rob Gronkowski's amazing penis. So the story stems from, him talking about being in the locker room and noticing other players' physiques. And
Yeah.
apparently Gronk's amazing penis came up.
Yeah. Just came
Probably
up
had its
in
own
our
locker.
And he was like, I'll go into detail about this.
Ooh, something I can get passionate about.
I mean, he went on Howard Stern and just opened up.
Yeah.
And I don't even think that's where he insulted the Tampa fans. But the Howard Stern interview was very telling because he didn't just say, yes, I've seen Rob Gronkowski's penis. That's to be expected. But coming up with an adjective like amazing
Yeah. Yeah.
seems like an odd way to kind of say, hey, yeah, but now I'm your quarterback, Tampa Bay.
Yep.
Describes his wife as great. Gronkowski penis, amazing.
Honestly, I'd have to think about that one too. Looking at Giselle, I might have to go with the shaft of Rob Gronkowski.
Yeah. Hey, she's my wife. She's
It might be
okay.
bigger.
I have to believe Gronkowski's got a bigger dick than Giselle. But anyway, what the point of the roundup was, though, what are some of the nicknames that Rob Gronkowski's penis has earned over the years? I mean, it is amazing, so it's obviously got some nicknames.
I'll go first.
Craig, yes, you will, Craig. Go ahead.
Knob Gronkowski.
How about Throb Gronkowski?
Yeah.
And I had Rub Gronkowski, so there's the trifecta. Outstanding. Craig, your next one?
Spike.
How about the big pole cock?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I had Julian Hedelman.
I was just saying because we know where it's all been. Puss.
That will never not be a horrible word.
Yeah.
It's just a horrible fucking word. It really is.
My God.
Dave?
The only other one I had was the Gronkowski skeet.
I had way too much fun with this one. I had a Ball Belichick.
Yeah. I had one more. Encroachment.
Oh. That's probably what he calls assault.
Yeah.
Isn't that what Roethlisberger did?
Yeah.
I encroached upon your nether regions.
Second and dong.
Well, that's the thing.
Second and dong. That is the best thing. I'm sorry.
The rest of mine were just bad Polish jokes anyway, and you've already covered it. So
No, you can tell those, but second and dong wins the night.
I think we might name the episode. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, mine were bad. I had Horsaw.
Oh my God.
Ivan Pudski. And then My Little Pierogi.
Oh my God. Horsaw. Oh my God.
That was the one that killed me.
It's funnier hearing it out loud.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't translate in Google Docs. You
It does
really
not.
got to make it work.
Horsaw.
But anyway,
my God.
I think we should wrap it up. Dave, bring us out with a little bit of knowledge.
Yeah, what's amazing is that roundup story is from an actual interview that Tom Brady gave describing Gronk's penis as amazing.
Yes.
What's also incredible is the 3 stories you heard before it are not real at all.
No.
They didn't actually happen.
No, we made them all up. Yeah.
Yeah. We had a little bit of fun. Was it 4 stories?
We did 4 stories. We actually did 5.
That's right.
We
But
left one out.
The religious COVID stories were legit. Everything that followed,
Yes.
fake news.
Fake.
Yep.
Totally fake.
Folks, we are as trapped as you are.
Yep. We're bored.
And
We're actually creating news.
Well, we might as well, because everything now is either horrendous news about COVID-19
Yep.
or it's about, positive news from sites that support our president and, negative news from all reputable media sites. And it's just becoming overwhelming. So we decided tonight we wanted to get back to doing something fun and talking about fun things. So we made up the news on our own.
Yeah, we did some legit stuff, and then we did some funny stuff. No, the one about Tom Brady and Gronkowski's dick is 100% real.
Yep.
That's
As
not fake.
is his love for it.
Yes. He said it was amazing.
I've been married 13 years. I've never once described my wife that way.
The worst part is when he said that, I kind of wanted to see it.
He's going on WWE. You're going to see it sooner rather than later. I
it'll
guarantee you that. He's going to have a nut slip, and that's going to be that good. Because he's wearing the fucking trunks. He's not going to go wear pants like a decent human being.
Hell
no.
He's wearing trunks. And they're going to have lightning on them pointing to his fucking anus.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
All right. Well, you know what, folks? We got to put a fork in this one. So let's just do a little bit of quick housekeeping. If you want to get a great cross-section of everything that we're all about and all the ones that we really think best represent us, you want to go over to the all-new Needless to Say podcast.com. If you want to buy our shit, I haven't promoted in a while, but represent.com/store/NTS podcast. You think with all this downtime I'd be making new shirts, and you're probably right, I should be. You want to check us out on social media, on Twitter at NTS_podcast, on Facebook at NTS_podcast, and on Instagram, all lowercase, needless to say, podcast. Additionally, Dave, give us a quick take on Endeavor Podcast Solutions.
Endeavor Podcast Solutions will help you out with anything podcast related, getting started, getting ideas, intros, outros, editing, audio, everything that you need. Our friends at EndeavorPodcastSolutions.com will help you out.
All right, and we actually got some guest audio tonight. Lindsay Lohan wants to take us out, so needless to say, we said it.
Do you have a great idea for a podcast? Or maybe you already have a podcast, but you're getting overwhelmed with editing or production. Head over to EndeavorPodcastSolutions.com. They have everything you need, from intros and outros to editing work, voiceover, you name it. That's EndeavorPodcastSolutions.com. Podcasting simplified.